Girls playoff soccer has arrived, and we have the final word with the McKinney ISD coaches on what they are thinking heading into postseason play. Hello and welcome to Sports Talk. I'm Tyler Sloan. Today, I'll be joined by Meagan Wilson of Boyd, Lance Lovell of North, and Alex Panterato of McKinney High to review their district seasons and look ahead to their impending first-round playoff matchups. We also have another Dennis Baker State Farm Scholar Athlete of the Week coming up later in the show. It's the Girls Soccer Playoff Preview episode on Sports Talk. For the McKinney Boyd girls soccer team, they finished in second place in District 10 5A, and I'm joined by their head coach, Meagan Wilson. And Coach, it was a great run in district play. You were just a point or two away from Plano West for the top of the district title. Very close there. A lot of separation, though, from the top two to the next three in that district. It got really tight at the end of district play. A lot of scoreless draws from a lot of teams across your district. Was that really kind of what it was expected with the playoff race so tight between 3, 4, and 5 in your district?
I don't know that, yes, it's definitely expected. A couple things happen. You know, when you get into the second half of district, people start fighting for points. They start, every game matters, you know, whether you tie or whether you win, it makes a difference. And so people start sitting in, they start doing different things to maybe hold on and get a point, you know, different things like that. And so it really has an effect on how the game is played. Whereas through the front half of district, a lot of teams go at it and they just, you know, they try and go after the win every single time. And, you know, we went 4-1 through the first part of district, and then we went 1-0-4 through the second half of district. And I think a lot of that is attributed to the fact that there were some teams out there that were definitely vying for some points. And so they sat in, and it really had an effect on our attack for sure, because you know you're having to get past 9-10 people in the box before you can get a shot off. So I mean, it definitely has an effect both ways.
You had a great start to that district schedule, as you mentioned, 4-1. You scored 7 goals in your first district game. Had a very entertaining 3-2 defeat to Plano West, and then put 3 goals on Plano and 4 on McKinney. What did you like about what you saw from your girls throughout the entirety of district play?
You know, I love that my kids battle. I never have to question what team is going to show up from that standpoint. They come out and they battle every single time. You know, have we had some games that haven't gone the way we wanted them to? Sure we have. There were a couple games in the second half of district where all we needed was 1 goal, and it would have made the difference as to whether or not we won district or not. But what I love about them is you won't ever see them stop, and you won't ever see them give up. I mean, even in the McKinney High game the other night, I mean, we're down to the last final minutes of the game, and the kids are still just fighting tooth and nail for that last goal, you know, for that last shot. So I'm very proud of the fact that I know game in and game out. I know what to expect from them. I know that they're going to come to battle.
You've known what you can expect from your top 2 forwards the whole entire season. Taylor Cobb has 13 goals, and Sydney Dolzine has 17 on this season. And you've even had 10 from Sarah Norman, who's been playing well as well. Yeah. The goal scoring production has been great for you. And do you expect that to continue into the playoffs? And what are maybe any little minor tweaks that you might have to try and get them some more goal production in the playoffs?
Absolutely, and it has to stay high. You know, for us to continue to be successful throughout the playoffs, we have to put balls in the back of the net. We have 3 phenomenal defenders who have held their own all year long for us and have done exactly what we need them to do defensively. But at the end of the day, if you don't put one in the back of the net, you're going to come away with a tie. And in the playoffs, that means you're going to have to go into extra time. So absolutely, we have to continue to score. We have to continue to attack with numbers. I think towards the second half of district, we did not do that as well, and that's something that I'm definitely going to be focusing on in practice over the next couple of weeks, is just really getting the energy level high from our midfield to our forwards as far as making those extra runs and making those attacks that create those scoring opportunities. So, I mean, the three that we have, I mean, they're phenomenal. Taylor, Cobb, and Sydney, they're amazing. The chemistry that they have with one another is amazing, but what creates that chemistry are the runs off the ball and the work from the other 5 midfielders in there. And if we don't have them getting forward, it really makes us predictable. And so, you know, that's something that for sure we're going to be focusing on and really getting our attack going in a positive direction so that we can get all sorts of scoring opportunities going.
You mentioned that chemistry, and it's really been evident on the field, that linking with play, that your players have done so well with their chemistry on the field. How's the chemistry like, you know, off the field with the players in the locker room as far as practice? Is it very relaxed sort of practice, or is it more like of an intense kind of focus in practice?
Practice is intense, and that's probably because that's the way I said it. You know, now the second the ball is stopped or the second we're getting a water break, they're goofballs, you know, and that's what I love about my kids is that they know that, you know, when we're playing, but when the whistle is blown or, you know, we need to get water or, you know, we're taking a break for a few minutes, they're hilarious. And, you know, they seem to be just incredible friends. You know, they are incredible teammates to each other. They back each other up in every single way, shape, and form. And I think that's part of why we have done as well as we have this year, because they care about each other and they're willing to sacrifice for each other. And it makes a big difference when you step across that line if you have that chemistry. So,
your back line has been tremendous for you all year long. You mentioned you play 3 players back in the defense, and you have 2 of those that have committed. Kylie Ross is going to Baylor, and Katie Foster is going to UAB. Or those are commitments. And then you also have a freshman in the mix who has played every minute for you this entire season.
They are unbelievable. They have done every single thing that we have asked them to do, with the exception of, you know, an injury here or there where we've had to have somebody step in. The 3 of them have not come off the field for any reason. The chemistry that they play with one another, it's tough to play a 3-back system. You have to be extremely athletic. You have to be extremely connected because of the ground that you're covering. You know, you're not covering, you have to cover so much more of the field than you would in a 4-back system. And so they have to talk to one another. They have to constantly shift and move with one another. And that's a tribute to them as far as how well they organize the people in front of them, how well they organize themselves so that they get the job done. And it's allowed us to be able to really have an attack going forward because we're able to push another number into the midfield to create scoring opportunities. They have done every single thing. I mean, we've only allowed 7 goals this year. They've had 16 shutouts, and that's completely in large part due to them. I mean, they are special for sure.
You go into the playoffs as the 2nd seed out of your district. You're playing the 3rd seed from 9-5A, which is Richardson, and they have a very respectable record this year: 10 wins, 8 losses, and 5 draws. And as far as some of these opening round games, it's important not to, with that Saxe matchup likely looming in the 2nd round. I know your kids probably want some revenge from their loss last year to Saxe. Important not to overlook Richardson, though.
Absolutely, you know, and I mean, absolutely. Are the girls looking to go and play Saxe? Sure, they are. But, you know, every single day we preach in practice that you're going to win the day first, and you're going to win day 1, and then you're going to go to day 2, and then you're going to get to Saxe, you know. And right now our goal is to focus on Richardson. Our goal is to go out and take care of that game first, and then we'll start talking about Saxe. But sure it is. I mean, it's definitely looming there. That is who they lost to last year. So there's some bad blood there, and they want to go out and get that for sure. But our focus has to be on Friday night at 6, for sure.
I looked at the final area rankings in 5A for the area, and South Lake Carroll's up at number 1, and then Plano West is 2, and you're 3 right behind them, and Saxe's number 5, not too far back of you. So going into the playoffs, you're going to face some top competition, likely like Saxe, for instance, but there also can be some teams that don't think that they're going to match up talent-wise to Boyd. And they're going to try to play that style like at the end of district season where they're going to try to pack it in and maybe try to take it to penalty kicks.
Sure.
How confident are you in the playoffs that, you know, if you get in that situation where things aren't going your way in a game, that you can be able to convert on those penalty kicks at the end or get that goal late in extra time to be able to move on in advance?
I mean, I'm definitely confident. We have proven all year long that we can score. We've proven all year long that we fight. And so I don't ever have to question whether or not my kids are going to give up or whether or not they're going to take it all the way to the end. They're going to battle, and especially when you get into the playoffs when you have to. It's win and go home. And so I don't ever question that. We have some great shooters that can put a ball in the back of the net, and you have to ask them to go do their job, and I think they know that. I think they expect that. I think they embrace that role. Both of them are juniors. Sarah's a sophomore. They've got some experience behind them. They've all played high levels of clubs, so it's not like this isn't something that they're unprepared for. They have to go out and execute, and I don't question that at all. They'll go out and take care of it. So.
Well, Coach Wilson, thanks again for joining us here
on
Sports Talk today. It was a 5-win, 4 ties, 1-loss district season. It was overall 14 wins, only 2 losses and 5 ties on the season. Very good for McKinney Boyd. They're heading to the first round. They are going to play Richardson Friday night right here at McKinney Boyd.
Yes.
6 o'clock. Be sure to tune in for that game.
Thank you so much.